You talked about keeping them happy, especially through a move like that. Obviously, if someone's living in Chicago and now it takes a bike or a bus to work
Yeah.
and has to start driving, what's your thinking been around, keeping your most valued people happy as well?
Yeah. So before we moved, first of all, we really tried to stay in the city and we looked for about probably 4 or 5 months of a lot of different places. What we were running into with trying to find something in the city was the places that seemed to work for us ended up being further and further away from kind of central areas anyways. So you'd find something that maybe works, but it's like really far west or really far south. So it still wasn't really like making people's lives easier. So when we decided to move, we looked for a few things we tried to find somewhere where there's like a metro train nearby. So we're only like maybe about a 5 minute walk or so to a metro.
Hmm.
And actually today was a good example of most people haven't been taking the train. But today there was really bad weather. It snowed all night, and we ended up having a few people who did come in on the train today, and made their commute 40 minutes versus some of the people who drove the highway was like it was like a 2 hour backup this morning.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
so that's something that was important. We and kind of before we moved, we asked everybody to let us know like who's able to drive and who is interested in a ride, and kind of offered like a carpooling incentive. So people who drove other people would get like a little bit of a bonus for taking some other people with them. And we looked for a couple like little things, like there's a gym really close by, so we offered to split like a gym membership with anyone who wants to join that gym. And that way, like if someone wants to come in early to kind of offset traffic or stay late, they have something that they could do. Um, and I think the last thing was we really tried to work with everybody to discuss hours to see if there's a way that we could sort of like set hours that would help bypass some of the traffic. Actually, initially, everyone wanted to do like a 6 a.m. start time, but then I think when people thought about it a little bit more, that became too early. So, like right now, we have a little bit of a staggered schedule. Like we have some people starting at 6:30, the bulk of production starts at 7, and then the office starts at 8.
Gotcha.
So, and to be honest, that's actually something that sounded good in theory, but now that we're doing it, it's a little bit hard for us to be spread out like that. So now we're trying to kind of. I think Aaron and I, like the way that we operate our business is we really try and be as open minded as possible. So we like when we make a change like that, we try and include as many people as we can, so that at least we're not making, I mean, obviously we made the decision to move. We couldn't really fix that, but we tried to make it beyond that. What are some things that we could do that would make it so that not everybody's going to leave? A couple people who did leave are people that we really didn't think would end up leaving. So, yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha. So it's just tough for that. But that's interesting that you talk about, especially communication. Even though you're the boss, being able to work with them and try to make it as easy as possible with a
Yeah.
shift like that.